All right, we're speaking with John Kenneway from one of my favorite bars here in the city of Worcester, Moynagh's Tavern. Well, you're a tavern, not a bar, John. So is there a difference?
Yeah, it has to do with the license and the hours that you can be open. Taverns can open up at 11 o'clock on Sundays. Back in the old days, they could open up on Sundays. Other bars couldn't.
So you just had to be a tavern. What's like the difference?
Yeah.
Is that it? Just the license, or there's no
Well,
other?
yeah, that and like back in, I don't think women are allowed in taverns back in the day. Like women weren't allowed. Believe it or not, women weren't allowed in our tavern until 1972.
Oh my God, that
You know,
recently?
Yeah, yeah, and the original bathroom for the girls was right in the middle of the bar. It was crazy back
What?
then.
What?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wow. Well,
Archaic, isn't it? 1972.
I know that's like
We literally
that's
some
crazy.
of the older taverns used to have. Yeah, we used to have a trough here, like where I don't know if you want to put it on the radio, but guys could just turn around and go to the bathroom, in this trough. I mean, it's obviously it's covered up, but
whoa. Not in a bathroom, but the trough was like out in the bar.
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
kidding me?
No, these are the stories I have heard through the grapevine here. You know, it's it was very,
my
it
God.
was different back then, I guess.
Yeah.
But now we have this big window in the front of our, in the front of the tavern. It used to be just this small, like 2x2 window that we had, and you couldn't see inside it. It was very, very private.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that window
You
was
know?
small for a reason, so nobody could see who was in there
Yeah.
in the middle of the day. For crying out loud!
Yeah,
Wow.
they didn't want their wives. They didn't want their wives to see them.
Right.
Plus, back in the day, we had a lot of with the courthouse and the police department right across the street on Waldo Street. We didn't. Obviously, they didn't want people to see them in here while they were having a little bit of, a couple of drinks during lunch.
I don't believe that, John. I don't believe any of our fine judges or law enforcement professionals would be drinking during the day. That's impossible.
Not at all.
Okay.
No,
Right.
they're all good guys. A lot of customers there too.
Well, you guys are putting on a comedy night over at Off the Rails right up the street this coming Friday, and it goes to benefit the Special Olympics. Now, what's the lineup for the comedians for Friday night?
So the headliner is Joe Hebert or A-Bear, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Then there's the openers are Stacy Kendrow and Allison. I hope I'm not destroying her last name. Dyen, D-Y-E-N.
And that what time does that start?
The doors open up at 7 o'clock. Show is at 8 o'clock. There's for the first hour, we have raffles, baskets, different prizes that people can win. All money given for that and goes right to Special Olympics.
Now, Moynagh's has had a very long record of support for the Special Olympics. Way back when I used to do the passion plunge for the Special Olympics at Nantasket Beach, that was when around this time every year we'd jump into the water for the Special Olympics. Moynagh's has been supporting. How long has Moynagh's been supporting the Special Olympics? Because every year the Moynagh's team would win in all the categories for like costumes and participation and money raised. How long you guys have been involved?
Right. I believe this is our 22nd year doing it.
Wow.
And I do believe we've actually won the costume contest every year. I don't think we've ever lost it. They should actually rename it.
Yeah.
The Tavern costume contest.
Yeah, absolutely. Give somebody else a try there, Bill Belichick, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we have raised, last year we hit our high. We raised $45,000. And we've talked to Special Olympics about how much we've actually raised because we thought that we were pretty close to $1 million, but they figure it might be around $800,000 that we've done over those 22 years.
That's still pretty awesome.
So we'd really love to hit 50,000 for the first time. And that's why we're trying to get this out there. And, they can swing down to the bar and make donations, or they can, come to the comedy show. The next month, we're going to be doing all different types of raffles and things like that at the tavern. And anything they buy at the tavern, like T-shirts, anything extra that they buy, snacks, whatever, all that money goes to Special Olympics all year long.
Wow, that's awesome. So how can people get tickets in advance for this?
They can come down to the tavern and get it. They can actually Venmo me at John-Kenneway. they'll see the tavern itself on there. The front door of the tavern is the picture on my page, and they can just send me $20 and I'll write their name down, as a reservation, and they can pick up the tickets at the door.
And you can't miss the tavern over there. It's like just a giant Irish flag right over there.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been here for 88 years, and I know there's a discussion about who the oldest bar is.
Yes.
And
yeah, I know Ralph's on Shrewsbury Street kind of claims to be the oldest place in Worcester.
Right, but the thing is that everyone got their license the same day in Worcester back in 1935. Because of Prohibition and everybody opened. I believe the story is that everyone opened up at the same time. The thing that we claim is that we're the oldest liquor license continuously running. We've been 88 years with the same license. We don't think anybody in the city can match that. Ralph's is an old tavern, but they've been bought out. Someone's bought that liquor license, so there's a new name on it. Same thing with
the Vernon
Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vernon, if anything, I would say the Vernon's the oldest because they were here before Prohibition.
Right. Moynagh's and the Vernon may have a Major League Baseball connection with some call the greatest player of all time, Babe Ruth. Now, the Vernon's claim, I believe, is that they had a speakeasy in the basement, and that's where Babe Ruth used to come and drink. But what is Moynagh's connection to Babe Ruth?
Right. And actually, he stayed at the Vernon, too, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That was his hotel of choice because it was right by Holy Cross, and it was the closest place for him to stay when he went to football games there. But as far as Moynagh's, this was a bowling alley back in the early 1900s, and Babe would come here. He loved bowling, and he would come here, and there was a lane upstairs. He would go to the upstairs alley, and he would bowl on this one alley so that, he wouldn't be bothered by anybody. And back in 1978, we had a fire here that destroyed the bar. And, Moynagh's was actually going to close the tavern down, but the customers begged Mr. Moynagh to keep it open, and they would do anything they could to keep it open. And one of the guys that was doing all the carpentry knew about the story of Babe bowling on that alley, which was still exposed at that point in time. And they went up, they cut the entire alley up, and they dragged it down through the ceiling. And they made it the bar. So the claim to fame is that Babe Ruth bowled on the bar at Moynagh's.
Okay, just to make it clear, he bowled on it while it was a bowling alley, and he didn't just get up on the bar at Moynagh's and start tossing bowling balls down. Okay.
No. But I always thought that would actually be a good thing, is that if a celebrity came in, I have a bowling ball, and they could actually bowl on the bar if they wanted to.
Well, I mean, if you need an F-class celebrity from Worcester, I'll be more than happy to do that next time I'm down there.
You can be the first. And actually, now that we're saying that, we get a lot of the bands in from the Palladium now. I have an autograph book that's about a third full right now of all these bands, these heavy metal bands.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking Benjamin came in this summer. Different bands that have come in. And actually the most popular music guy that ever came in here is back in 1981. I heard a story that U2, Bono. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't believe I messed that up. Bono sat at the bar. He came in after he was the opening band, I think, for Jay Giles. And he came in and he sat down at the bar, and the bartender asked him for his autograph for his 12-year-old son. He gave it to his son the next day, and he's like, "Who the hell is Bono?"
That's awesome. I never knew that story. That's great, man. Well, listen, John, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today. We're more than happy to help get the word out about this. So it's the comedy night, a special benefit for the Special Olympics, coming up on Friday at Off the Rails, right up the road from Moynagh's. Here in Worcester, and you can go down to Moynagh's, get tickets in advance, or go right to Off the Rails.
I believe you can get them on their website.
Oh, okay.
You can check on it.
Okay.
But the easiest way would be to come into Moynagh's. We have the tickets right here. And like I said, if they want to Venmo me, that's fine. They can make reservations, and I'll put their name down.
Not only do they have tickets at Moynagh's, they have the best pint of Guinness in the city. It's cold.
That's what I hear.
It's poured perfectly.
Everybody that drinks it.
Oh, yeah. It's poured perfectly. It has a nice crown on it. It's a beautiful pint. So that's the place you should enjoy your Guinness. All right, John. Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Mike.